Welcome to my channel. Today I want to share something that sounds harsh, but it is one of the most realistic truths about life. No one is your friend until you win. Before success, people doubt you, ignore you, or quietly hope that you are just dreaming. And when you talk about your goals, many people don't support you, not because they hate you, but because they don't believe until they see proof. This is not a negative statement. It is simply how society works. We all have experienced moments where our ideas were dismissed, our efforts weren't taken seriously, or our dreams were laughed at. Some of you felt alone while trying to improve, whether it was studying, starting a business, building a skill, or trying something new. The purpose of this video is to help you understand why people behave like this, and how this knowledge can actually make you stronger. If you understand this truth, you will navigate life in a smarter way. You will stop waiting for validation, and you will focus on becoming the person who wins. And once that happens, everything changes. So let's start by understanding why people don't support you in the beginning. Chapter 1. Why people don't support you in the beginning. When someone decides to start something new, such as learning a skill, starting a business, building a talent, studying for a big goal, or changing their life, the first stage is always lonely. You notice that people don't show much interest. They don't ask questions. They don't encourage you. Sometimes they even laugh. This is not because you are doing something wrong, but because at the beginning, there is nothing visible to show. Dreams are invisible. Goals are invisible. Effort is invisible. The early stage is quiet, private, and almost invisible to everyone except the person who is trying. And the world does not give attention to things it cannot see. This is why people don't support you in the beginning. They cannot see your future, they cannot see your potential, and they cannot see the result yet. If you tell someone, "I want to start a business," they listen politely, but inside they think it is just another idea. If you tell someone, "I want to become a singer," they smile, but they don't take it seriously. If you tell someone, "I want to become better than I am today," they nod, but they don't believe. Anyone can talk. Anyone can dream. The world has seen millions of dreams that never became real, so the world does not invest energy in dreams until they turn into results. And this is where the truth becomes clear. People trust results, not hopes. For example, imagine two students. One says, "I will study hard and get top marks." The other stays quiet and simply works. In the beginning, nobody pays attention to either of them. But after the exam, when the results come and the second student gets top marks, suddenly everyone respects him. They say, "Wow, you are so smart. How did you do it? I always knew you could." But the truth is, they didn't know. They only believed after the results appeared. The same thing happens in business. When someone opens a small shop or starts an online business, the early days are silent. Friends don't buy, relatives don't support, customers don't show up. But when the business finally becomes profitable, suddenly people ask for discounts, want connections, and claim they always believed. Again, people trust results, not hopes. Another reason people don't support you in the beginning is risk. Supporting someone early is a social risk. If they support you and you fail, their reputation feels damaged. They look like someone who backed the wrong person. Humans dislike being associated with losing or failing, so they wait. They observe. They watch quietly from a distance until they are sure it is safe to join. It is the same reason investors don't invest in ideas. They invest in companies with data. It is the same reason coaches don't pick players based on dreams. They pick based on performance. People feel comfortable with certainty, not belief. There is also a psychological behavior called herd mentality. Humans feel safer following the crowd rather than supporting the individual. When no one believes in you, the crowd stays silent. When many people believe in you, suddenly, the crowd joins. This is why fame multiplies after success. When an athlete wins a gold medal, millions cheer, even though nobody was cheering during the lonely training years. When a singer becomes famous, fans appear everywhere, even though almost nobody cared when they were practicing in their bedroom. Humans are social creatures, and they follow what society approves, not what a single person desires. In the beginning, another factor is value. When you are just starting, you cannot offer value yet. You cannot open doors for others. You cannot create opportunities. You cannot connect people. You cannot inspire. And you cannot prove anything. You are in the building phase. And in the building phase, you are still becoming someone. People prefer to support someone who has already become someone. This is why the early journey feels cold. No applause, no encouragement, no recognition, no respect. But once you arrive at the result stage, everything changes. People want to be near the person who can offer value, even if they never cared while you were building. There is a powerful emotional truth here. When you struggle, nobody is there. When you succeed, everyone comes close. It hurts, but it makes sense. The struggle phase requires belief, and most people don't have belief. The success phase requires nothing except showing up, and everyone can do that. This pattern can be seen everywhere. In athletes who trained for years before medals, in entrepreneurs who worked in garages before building companies, in artists who practiced in silence before becoming legends. The world becomes interested only after the story becomes interesting. So don't let early silence confuse you. Don't take lack of support personally. People are not against you. They are simply waiting for proof. They are waiting for you to win. And that is why everything changes once results appear. Chapter 2. Why winning changes. How people treat you. Something interesting happens the moment results appear. The same people who ignored you before suddenly begin to notice you. The same people who doubted you begin to respect you. The same people who kept their distance now want to be close. It feels almost magical how fast opinions can change once success becomes visible. Before winning, people act as if you don't exist. After winning, they act as if they always knew you would make it. This contrast can be confusing, but it is one of the most predictable patterns in society. Why does this transformation happen? One big reason is attention. Humans are naturally attracted to success because success creates curiosity. When someone succeeds, people want to know how, they want to know when, they want to know why. Success becomes a story, and stories attract attention. For example, if a student quietly studies every day, nobody cares. But when the results come out and the student gets top marks, everybody asks, "How did you do it?" Suddenly, the person who was invisible becomes interesting, and interest is a form of respect. Another factor is something psychologists call social proof. Social proof means people copy what others approve. If nobody supports you, others stay silent. If everyone supports you, others join. This is why celebrities gain millions of followers after a big achievement, not before. When an athlete wins medals, when a singer wins awards, when a business becomes profitable, society approves. And once society approves, the crowd follows. People don't want to be the first supporter. They want to be the safe supporter. They want to join when the outcome is already guaranteed. This is why you rarely hear people saying, "I believed in him before he was famous." But you always hear people saying, "I knew he would win," after the victory. Success also creates authority. Authority means your voice becomes louder. Before success, your ideas feel like opinions. After success, the same ideas feel like wisdom. Before winning, people question your decisions. After winning, they ask for advice. Nothing changed except the result. But the result changed everything. People listen to those who have proof. When a business owner makes money, suddenly his business tips are valuable. When a top student speaks about study methods, people pay attention. When an athlete talks about discipline, the world listens. Without results, the message is ignored. With results, the message is respected. There is another important truth. Success kills doubt. Doubt is the main reason people don't support you in the beginning. They are unsure. They don't know if you will make it. They don't know if your dream is realistic. They don't know if your talent is strong enough. Doubt makes people wait. Doubt makes people hesitate. Doubt makes people stay silent. But once you win, doubt disappears. There is no debate. There is no argument. The result speaks. And when the result speaks, people listen. People don't respect the process. They respect the conclusion. Look at athletes. For years they train in silence. Some people even think they are wasting time. But when they bring home medals or break records, people celebrate them. Schools invite them as guests. Media interviews them. Everyone wants pictures. Before the medals, nobody cared. After the medals, everyone cares. Look at students. When they compete for top grades, nobody asks what they are studying. But when their name appears at the top of the board, society praises them. Relatives congratulate them. Teachers use them as examples. People admire the result, not the hours they spent in the night with books. The same thing happens in business. When you open a shop or start an online business, almost nobody buys in the beginning. But when the business grows, customers multiply, opportunities appear, and people suddenly want to be associated with you. Winning multiplies value. Success also increases something else: access. Access means doors open that were previously closed. If you are a top student, mentors offer guidance. If you are a successful entrepreneur, investors become interested. If you are a talented athlete, coaches invite you to bigger stages. Success also increases influence. People follow your decisions and copy your habits. And success increases opportunity. New options appear, new relationships form, new paths open. The world becomes flexible for winners. The world becomes curious for winners. The world becomes friendly for winners. But here is the part many people forget. Before this celebration, before this attention, before this respect, there is a silent phase that nobody sees. There are years of training, studying, learning, planning, failing, trying, repeating, and improving. There are nights where nobody claps, nobody calls, nobody supports, nobody asks how you are doing. There are moments where you doubt yourself and you fight with your own mind. That silent phase is the price of winning, and it is in that silence that winners are created. Chapter 3. Loneliness is part of winning. When you decide to change your life, something quiet and unexpected happens. The world around you becomes empty. You begin studying alone, practicing alone, planning alone, working alone. While others relax, you open your books. While others scroll, you write goals. While others laugh, you think about your future. At first, you may look around and wonder where everyone went. The truth is, they didn't go anywhere. They just didn't go with you. The path to improvement is a path that very few people choose, and because of that, it often feels lonely. People disappear when you start something serious because dreams make people uncomfortable. Dreams require effort, discipline, consistency, and patience. Many people prefer comfort. They prefer the easy path, the simple path, the path without failure or pressure. So when you start building something, whether it is a skill, a business, a body, a talent, or a career, people don't know how to fit into that world. They don't know how to support it, so they distance themselves. Not because they hate you, but because they don't understand your new direction. This loneliness, however, is not a punishment. It is training. It removes noise from your life. When there are fewer people around, there are fewer distractions, fewer opinions, fewer interruptions, and fewer expectations. In silence, the mind becomes sharp. You start seeing what you really want, not what the crowd wants. You focus not on impressing others, but on improving yourself. Focus is born in solitude. Many great achievements come from people who spent years in quiet rooms, studying, writing, practicing, designing, thinking, and preparing long before the world ever noticed them. Loneliness also creates self-discovery. When you are alone, you meet yourself. You learn what you're good at, what you struggle with, what fear controls you, and what dreams drive you. You begin to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, your principles, and your desires. Most people never reach this stage because they never allow themselves time alone. They always surround themselves with noise and company, so they never hear their own thoughts. But winners are different. Winners learn to sit with their minds. Winners learn to fight with their doubts. Winners learn to build their inner world before building their outer success. This silent period also strengthens you emotionally. In the beginning, being alone may feel heavy. You may wonder why nobody supports you, why nobody checks on you, why nobody sees your effort. But as time passes, something powerful begins to grow inside you. Independence. You start realizing that you don't need constant encouragement. You don't need approval. You don't need validation. You don't need someone to hold your hand. You can hold your own hand. You can create your own energy. You can lift yourself. This kind of strength cannot be bought, and it cannot be taught in books. It is learned through experience. It is learned through loneliness. Over time, loneliness shapes you into someone others begin to admire. The same person who once looked like an isolated struggler slowly becomes someone worth watching. When your results start to appear, people notice the transformation. They say, "You changed." But they don't realize that the transformation happened in silence long before the world saw anything. What they are seeing now is only the final stage, not the process. And that is why the saying feels so true. Winners are built in silence, celebrated in public. The world cheers for the victory, but it never sees the training. Another interesting thing about loneliness is that it teaches discipline without external pressure. When nobody is watching you and you still do the work, that is discipline. When nobody claps for you and you still continue, that is perseverance. When nobody motivates you and you still keep going, that is internal strength. These qualities are the foundation of winning. Without them, success collapses easily. With them, success becomes stable and lasting. People often imagine winners surrounded by fans, friends, support, and celebration. But what they fail to see is that before success, winners often walked through long seasons of silence. Nobody was cheering then. Nobody was supporting then. Nobody was congratulating then. It was just them and their goal. This lonely season separates dreamers from achievers because only those who can endure the silence are strong enough to handle the noise of success later. And here comes the most surprising part of the story. When the success finally arrives, when the medals, results, profits, or achievements become visible, new people start appearing. People who once stayed silent suddenly become interested. People who never supported you begin to reconnect. People who never asked about your life now ask many questions. This shift may surprise you at first, but it is completely natural, and it leads us into the next chapter, where we explore what happens after you win, when new people appear from nowhere. Chapter 4. Fake friends appear after success. Success does not only change your life, it changes your social environment. When the results finally show, something interesting begins to happen. People you have not talked to in months suddenly message you. Relatives who once questioned you begin to praise you. Old classmates who never cared try to reconnect. People who once ignored your presence now ask for your attention. It feels as if you pressed a button and the world became friendly. But it is not friendship. It is attraction. People are not attracted to you. They are attracted to what you achieved. Fake friends always arrive after success, never before. They never show up during the struggle stage because the struggle stage has nothing to offer. There is no glory there, no celebration, no benefit, no status, no opportunity, only hard work, failures, doubt, and silence. Fake friends have no interest in that world. They only love victory. They love the final picture, not the process behind the picture. They want to appear next to the winner so that some of the shine reflects onto them. This is why you will notice a strange behavior after you win. People begin to rewrite history. They say things like, "We always knew you would make it," or "We believed in your talent from the start," or "I told everyone you were different." Yet, during the struggle, they never said these things. During the silent years, they were absent, distant, or uninterested. Now that success is visible, they change the narrative because it benefits them. It makes them look wise, supportive, connected, and loyal, even though they were none of those things. Fake friends don't love you. They love the status attached to you. They love the attention that comes from being associated with someone successful. They love how society views them when they say, "He's my friend," or "I know her," or "We used to hang out." For them, you are not a person. You are a symbol. A symbol they can use to increase their social value. The emotional manipulation becomes even clearer when they start using specific techniques: praise, nostalgia, and networking. Praise makes them look supportive. They shower compliments, exaggerate admiration, and act as if they were cheering the whole time. Nostalgia makes them seem connected. They remind you of the old days, shared memories, or meaningless stories to create emotional closeness. Networking makes them seem useful. They introduce you to people, suggest deals, or ask for access in ways that benefit them more than you. This formula is subtle but efficient, and many successful people fall for it because after years of loneliness, attention feels comforting. But attention is not loyalty. Attention is not friendship. Attention is not love. It is simply interest. And interest disappears the moment you stop winning. That is the test. Fake friends vanish when the shine fades, when the money slows down, when the applause stops, or when the next winner appears. They are not committed to you. They are committed to the benefits of being associated with you. The real contrast becomes clear when you compare them to true supporters. Real supporters appear in the struggle phase. They encourage you when your results are uncertain. They invest energy when there is no guarantee. They push you forward when nobody else cares. They stay close when there are no rewards. Their friendship is rooted in loyalty, not outcome. That is why their circle is always small. Real supporters don't need to rewrite history because they were part of the history. There is a sharp emotional truth hidden in all of this. Fake friends don't love you. They love the shine around you. They love what your success gives them, not who you are. Many winners learn this lesson late. They wonder why their social circle grew after victory, only to shrink again when they face difficulty. The answer is simple. Fake friends are seasonal. Real friends are permanent. This pattern can be seen everywhere. When athletes win, strangers want pictures, brands want partnerships, people want association. When entrepreneurs succeed, connections appear from nowhere. When students top exams, relatives proudly attach themselves to their success. But none of these people were there during the nights of doubt, stress, or failure. Celebration attracts crowds. Struggle attracts silence. Understanding this dynamic doesn't mean becoming bitter or paranoid. It means becoming aware. Once you understand why people behave this way, you stop being shocked by it. You stop asking, "Where were they when I needed them?" You already know the answer. They were waiting for you to win. Now a new question begins to form. After you win, how should you deal with people? How do you choose who enters your world and who stays out? That is what we will explore in the next chapter. Chapter 5. How to handle people after you win. When you finally win, you do not only change your personal situation, you also change your environment. Success creates a new atmosphere and attracts new types of people. Some will admire you, some will congratulate you, some will pretend they supported you all along, and some will appear suddenly as if they always knew you. This may feel surprising, but it is a natural effect of achievement. Winning exposes how people truly behave, and this is where maturity and emotional intelligence become necessary. After success, there is a delicate balance you must learn. Some people become arrogant, and others become naive. Both choices are dangerous. Arrogance pushes good people away, while naivety allows wrong people in. The wiser path is to stay humble without becoming blind. Humility keeps your character clean, but awareness keeps your life safe. This balanced mindset is how strong winners maintain control. A key lesson after winning is understanding the difference between praise and loyalty. Praise is cheap and easy. Anyone can clap for you after the victory. It costs nothing to admire you when you have already succeeded. But loyalty is different. Loyalty requires belief, support, patience, and sometimes sacrifice. Real loyalty appears before the win, not after it. That is why the people who supported you early carry more value than the people who only appeared after the reward. Praise is free. Loyalty is rare. Success also demands more privacy. When you grow, your plans, your time, your energy, and your personal circle become more valuable. You cannot allow everyone to have access to these things. You can be kind to many people, but only a few deserve access. Kindness is a polite behavior you can give to anyone, but access is a privilege that must be earned. Winners learn to smile publicly and build privately. As you observe people after your success, you will notice two clear groups. The first group is made of real supporters, the ones who encouraged you when there was nothing to gain, who believed quietly, and who stayed present during challenges. The second group is made of opportunity hunters, the ones who arrive after you win, who praise loudly but only to get closer, and who are interested in the benefits, not in you. You can identify them by their timing and behavior. Supporters show up in storms, hunters show up in sunshine. Most importantly, do not forget the ones who clapped when no one else did. Early supporters are rare. They recognized your value before results appeared. They believed before the evidence existed. Those relationships deserve respect and protection. Because once you truly see how the world treats winners, you discover a deeper reality. Winning is the only solution. Without winning, nobody listens, nobody cares, and nobody believes. And that truth leads us to the final chapter. The real reason winning fixes everything. Chapter 6. Winning is the only solution. The world does not change because we complain. It does not move because we demand support, attention, or understanding. It changes when results appear. Winning is what shifts opinions, opens doors, changes conversations, and creates respect. You can argue with people forever, or you can win once and end the argument forever. Complaining does nothing. Winning does everything. When you win, your identity changes. You no longer see yourself as someone trying. You see yourself as someone capable. Success builds confidence, and confidence builds authority. Authority attracts opportunity. This chain reaction transforms your life in ways support alone never could. People listen differently when you have results. Your voice becomes stronger, not because you shout louder, but because the world knows you can deliver. Winning also turns silence into influence. The same people who ignored your messages, your skills, or your ideas suddenly pay attention. The same room that once felt closed becomes available. Success gives you freedom. Freedom to choose where you go, who you work with, and what you accept. Winning is not only about money or status, it is about options. Losers take what they are given. Winners choose what they want. There is a delay in validation that many people do not understand. Support rarely appears at the beginning. It comes after results. People need evidence before they believe, and evidence takes time to build. This delay is what makes the journey lonely, but it is also what makes the reward powerful. Those who stop early never reach the point where validation begins. Those who keep going experience a completely different world. Another truth is that success is the cleanest form of revenge. Instead of fighting, arguing, or proving yourself through words, you prove yourself through outcomes. When you win, every doubt, insult, and dismissal becomes irrelevant. You do not need to explain anything. Results explain for you. Conflict wastes energy. Success converts that energy into achievement. At the end of the day, the world respects results, not effort. It does not matter how hard you tried if nothing worked. It matters that something worked in the end. Effort deserves personal pride, but results earn public respect. That is why chasing support is a losing strategy. Chase results instead. So stop waiting for people to cheer for you. Stop waiting for permission, for validation, or for comfort. Build until you cannot be ignored. Winners are not loud because they speak. They are loud because they succeed. Winning is the only solution. Not because life is unfair, but because winning gives you the power to change it. If this message changed how you see the world, take a moment to reflect on it. Ask yourself where you are right now in your journey. Are you in the silent phase, the lonely phase, or the rising phase? If this helped you think differently, then like the video, Share it with someone who needs this lesson and tell me in the comments what part hit you the hardest. Don't forget to subscribe because more powerful videos are coming. Videos that will motivate you, teach you about life, and help you learn English at the same time. This is just the beginning. Remember, your journey becomes louder when you start winning.